Well, what's up YouTube? Quality4Man221 back here. We're in another battle. I like to say I'm using the Shinobi Informer. So lets me see my opponent's army here. So he's got actually some Shogun Guard Infantry. Those are like really tough units. So I was actually scared of those. This looks like World War I. He's also got reducing line infantry and then cavalry speed. So you can see my army here. You know, we've got a bunch of troops at the bottom there. So let me talk about this map. This is a map with a town in the middle. Now, when you have a town, you don't want to... Here's what happens. If you spread your forces all out and try to capture stuff, I mean, I'm going to do a little bit of that, but... main thing is, you want to give yourself an advantage. You want to bring your opponent into a choke point and shoot them from 3 sides, like you're going to see me do later. Let's talk about my army composition. I believe this was on large funds, because I hosted this, or he hosted it. So I've got 3 spear levy, a katana samurai unit, 4 yari kai, or... yeah, 4 yari troops, and then I've got 3 bow units. They're like bow levy. So my main component of my army is black bears. And then I've got 1 white bear who's an elite. I've got 3 archers, and I've actually got a pretty balanced army right now. So I set up my guys into one group, and they are basically... I'm going to fight my opponent for this archery range, because 1, that's my biggest advantage I have. Yari... yeah, so that's my biggest advantage I have in my opponent, would be the archers, of course. I'm trying to skirmish with them for that. The one thing is, I often forget this, but bring your general out with your main troops. If the opponent's smart, he'll actually see that, and he'll sometimes charge and kill your general without you looking. So as you can see, I'm going to set up on this choke point here. And then I've got this little wing here. Now, I have 3 bow levies, and I like to keep my bow levies with some of my cavalry ring. I do this on Shogun too, just a regular thing. This will help you out on any total war. Try to get your opponent into choke points. So I'm going to be kind of a little bit harsh here and charge into these. Kind of be a little. Well, here's my main thought was there for that attack was he had his guys, his marines, right behind. I'm actually gonna I'm gonna pull back because I see that he had way too many troops. These are my Yari Cap. He's actually making a very good position on this hill here with his Yari Kai. That's just my chair squeaky. So, we're going to capture this, and this is going to give us extra armor.
Damned lily-livered cowards! Your men are running, sir!
So I lost 1 cab unit. Big whoop, I had 4. Now, what he's going to make a mistake here is he's actually going to charge into my blackbear infantry, because he's still chasing my guys. He's what my blackbear infantry look like. Blackbear infantry are better than white bear. No, yeah. So, you know, he's getting shot, and he's actually going to lose his cab unit. And he just says, you know, I'm taking all these cabs, I might as well go for it. So all my guys, bam, that's what happens when cab charge. Now, I do have my cav on this wing. I do have to worry about his cavalry coming down from the hill, because, you know, they're line infantry, but they can't form squares like in previous Total Wars. Squares aren't that effective. So I've got these guys, the white bear elites, guarding the flank, and then I've got my general, and I got a sword unit I'm going to put back in the woods who will come into play later. So right now my opponent is smart. He is actually trying to seize that ground up there with his cavalry. He's got some elites. The problem is he's got really good troops here. This is just in the beta right now. He's got really good troops right now, and that's going to make my army bigger than his, have more firepower. He might have some more accuracy on me, but yeah. So he just took the sword dojo, so now we're going to start trying to cap that. My opponent's going to make some moves. So as you can see, I've got like this whole little valley thing narrowed down. I'm actually going to march some of my troops, I believe, on the left flank up in a little bit. And I want to spread my guys out thinner. It's kind of I was watching his cab, you know. He's basically, what he made a mistake is he isolated his cavalry, trying to go after my general. That's what I figured at least. I wanted to go after my general, so... yeah, and then I also want to spread out my troops, because, you know, definitely good idea to keep my general safe. So one thing I talked about in my first battle with the 2 vs 2 was my archers, how I absolutely love these guys. Before the enemy gets rifleman skirmishers, these are the best skirmishers you have. 1, they can shoot behind your guys. 2, they outrange most line infantry in the beginning. Also, they also have flaming arrows which demoralize troops. So, you know, I can hit his marines and stuff before he can hit my troops. Oh, yes. So, you know, he's getting some shots. So I'm just going to fire my flaming arrows at his pretty good units. As you can see, pretty decent accuracy. And look, it's just going to bring these guys down. So after shooting some arrows, we're going to withdraw behind our troops. and continue to fire. So we got extra firepower from that. Now, my opponent was kind of smart with his saber cav. He actually leads 3 of my cav off from the main body, and that's why he's bringing his cav to strike down my troops. So I do have my, you know, that unit lined up in that thin line, just putting tons of volleys down. None of my guys really have suppressing fire. But, you know, his guys may be elite, but I've got the thinner lines. I've got the reinforcements for my archers shooting overhead. And the front line of the battle is going pretty good for me. Now, what my opponent should have done with his cavalry on the right flank is he should have definitely... he's also using saber cav. So saber cav... Let me go back to saber cav really quickly. What saber cav is good for is kind of like katana cav. In extended melee fights and against infantry, it's good. But the Yari Kai, that's
Sir,
like the Yari
I
cav.
fear your general is in mortal peril, sir.
And then my general had like an arrow fly by him. So see, saber cav, very good. It's actually tearing up my left flank here. I was actually pretty nervous. So I'm going to start turning all my archers onto his general. He was stupid enough to charge forward. He was trying to bring morale, I believe, to his soldiers, and I'm just pulling back my my left flank to reinforce my right. So my opponent, very strong attack on this wing. This is the weak. That was my weakened wing. But now that I've got my, first of all, we got into combat with my sword guys. My general's over here. Don't want to put my general in stand and fight. Right now, I recommend if you want to kind of see what general you'd like, I would recommend a leadership general with enable gun and 2 on accuracy. I actually got my general in the melee there. That was not very smart. Also, when an enemy general comes, if you can, just target him. If you kill him, it'll be easier for the rest of your soldiers. So yeah, my cav was vetted up a little bit, and that also helped. So I think my general is actually, I think he's trying to get him away from his guys. They just won't let go. So my guys are actually killing those guys, and then my guys open fired from the woods and killed even more of his horses. These guys are on rally, that's why they're lasting for so long. And you can see in the background that my levy spears are, you know, coming in from behind on that marine unit. And he's decimated my front lines. I mean, if he had been spread out from the beginning, it would have really helped. But look at that. Like, shot down my lines. A cavalry strike critically wounded a lot of my soldiers. And then also, if you can get your... If you use a meat shield attack like I've been teaching in Shogun 2 with levy troops and spears, you can actually charge your katana samurai in right behind your levy troops and actually win the battle that way. Because when one of your samurai troops gets in there... Oh, look at those guys running away. Killing them. Those are pretty expensive. Once you get in a combat with them, that's what they're made for, samurai. So I'm going to end the battle here and give you the results. So if you enjoyed this battle and learned something about the difference between Yari cav, saber cav, suppressing fire was where he breaks morale. I talked about that in my last battle. And we actually have the results here, which is nice because I cannot save the replays. That's why I had to do this live. So tell me in the comments if you have any suggestions, what you want to see. I do have a naval battle. And yeah, so subscribe if you want to see more videos. I'm really trying to pump out these multiplayer videos, get the campaign up, and guide you guys. So I got saber cav from that, which are not too good. So as you can see, blackbear 125 range and 50% accuracy. So yeah, now let's go to unit statistics here. 178 kills from my blackbears. So those were the guys in the middle. 2,000 experience. I mean, too bad you can't get multiple vets. And as you can see, my bows only got about, you know, a couple kills each. Like over 40 each, but, you know, that wasn't too great. Let's share the results. So game to my opponent, Kamikaze 7 AOG. I killed 981 of the enemy. He killed 837 of my guys. It's Corwin221 signing off. Hope you enjoy. And subscribe if you want to see more.